Hey City Group, I hope you guys are having an amazing time today on Sunday. Honestly, City Group is the best place to be today. Today we're starting a brand new series on freedom. I'm Isaiah, I'm you guys' Student Heights Director. So, first off, I'm going to start off by asking a question, right? How many times do we mess something up and then we try to fix it, but we end up just making things worse, right? I actually have a story like this. There was this one time where I was in California with my brother, and we were just like roughhousing like how brothers do. And there was this frame. It was my parents' frame from their wedding. It was like sand. It was different color sand, and they were divided, right? And so we were roughhousing, and we bumped into this frame, and it falls over, and all the sand mixes, and it just is completely ruined, right? But it wasn't that bad. But of course, we didn't want to get in trouble, so we tried to fix it ourselves. So we tried to grab the sand and we tried to divide it the way it was, and we ended up making it worse. And so we still don't want to get in trouble, so we put it back onto the shelf and we start hiding it, like if we didn't do it. We start putting books and other picture frames in front of it, trying to hide it and make it seem like we didn't mess it up. And then when our parents come, they notice that something was different with the shelf. So they start rearranging things and to put it back where it was, and they noticed that the frame was messed up. And they told us, why didn't we just leave it the way it was so that they could have fixed it? They could have gotten it fixed. Instead, we made things worse. How many times is it that we're like that with our relationship with God, right? We end up messing up and we try to hide it, we try to fix it ourselves, but we just make things worse. A lot of times we have these awesome encounters with God when we're at Vibe or at City Group, and we have these awesome encounters and we feel His presence. But then when we leave those doors and we go back to our lives, we end up doing the same things that we were doing before, See, we need to find freedom. And the great thing about being a Christian is that freedom's right there on the table for the taking. We just have to reach out and go for it and take a step towards it, right? In Romans chapter 7, it says, "So I find this law at work. Although I want to do good, evil is right there with me. For my inner being, I delight in God's law, but I see another law at work in me, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin at work within me." As a Christian, we have to realize that there's three parts to us. There's the body, there's the soul, and there's the spirit. When we're saved, it's immediate transformation of our body and our spirit, but our soul is still the same. So, how do we work on our soul to act and look more like Christ? It's this process called sanctification. So the first point of sanctification is that it is a process. So unlike salvation, where it's immediate, where you go from death to life, sanctification is a process. You have to work on it. It's an enduring process, daily things that you have to do every day. The second point is that sanctification is not behavior modification, it is a heart transformation, right? Because when you think of behavior modification, it's like that, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I'm not allowed to do certain things. But when you think of it as a heart transformation, you start to see that you're not wanting to do those things. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to hang out with those people, I don't want these things in my surroundings, because it's a heart transformation. The enemy wants to make you believe that you have to change the way you behave, but God just wants you to take a step toward Him. The third point is that sanctification is not the destination, but daily discipline, right? Holiness is the destination. Sanctification is just the process, just the road. So everything that we talk about is just a way of us getting towards holiness, looking like Christ, acting more like Christ. So what are some daily disciplines that you need to find freedom? In Romans chapter 7, if we keep reading, it says, "Thanks to be God who delivers me through Jesus Christ our Lord." So we think that God is upset with our failures, but He's just thrilled that you're taking a step toward Him, right? We need to find freedom in something. You think that every time that you mess up, that God's ready to quit and that you're ready to quit, but God is just excited that you're taking a step toward Him. So we need to take a step toward God, towards Jesus Christ, and with that, we'll take a step towards freedom. So let's get up and hang out with our small group leaders, and we're going to take a step towards Christ, and we're going to take a step towards freedom.